Hi there, my name is Kaylee. My wife's name is Shea, and we're tackling some big debt in the Big Apple. And today, you're all stuck with just me. Normally, my wife Shea and I sit down and budget our paychecks every single Friday. Shea has lunch plans with a friend she hasn't seen in a while, so we're flying solo today. It's just me. You gotta deal with me talking to myself, which is mostly what these videos are in the first place. So let's sit down, have some coffee, tea, water together, and talk about how this week went, shall we? So, this week in the grand scheme of budgeting was interesting because we've got a lot going on in the world of planning, budgeting, executing, all that. So, if you've seen our videos before, then you already know. If not, then you're about to learn. We're big in the world of travel hacking and getting travel points. Come here. And Giles hates that because it means we're out of the house. But he wants me to throw his toy. He wants to play fetch. Okay, come on. This is Giles' popcorn toy. He's obsessed with it right now. And so right now, Chase has a sign-up bonus that is you spend $5,000 in the first 3 months, and you get 100,000 bonus points on top of whatever points you earn. Really? Again? Popcorn. So Shea signed up for that day before yesterday, maybe yesterday, and got approved for that one. So we're really excited about that because we have a lot of travel planned at the back half of this year and into next year. Popcorn. So 100,000 points goes a long way. So we're really excited about that. I have the Chase Sapphire Preferred card, which is I think it's a $95 annual fee. Popcorn. Dude. So I've been really happy with that. We got a 60,000 point sign-on bonus when I signed up for it, and we have used those very well. I don't think we've paid for like a flight in like 3 years. So the 100,000 points is going to go. It's going to go a mighty distance for us. So I'm really excited about that. If you're interested in that, there is a Chase referral thing. I don't know. We like it. So I'll drop that link down below just because I think it's a great sign-on bonus. I have never seen it this high ever, and we love the travel points, and we make good use of them. We've gotten so much use out of these travel points. It's crazy. So there's that. Along with the Chase thing, they also have a $50 hotel credit every year, and I always forget about it. And then we booked our hotel for our friend's wedding in September because they sent out the invites. They had the recommended hotels. We were like, let's just book it now before it gets too close and the prices go crazy. So we booked the hotel through the Chase travel portal to make sure we got the points that go along with that. And we got a $50 hotel credit, which I totally forgot about. So that was really exciting. And I was really jazzed about that because, obviously if there's a $50 credit, that offsets some of that annual fee, and it's really sick. And we're not the best at like optimizing our travel rewards because that's just a whole other level of work that I don't know. But, the benefit we get out of it has far surpassed the effort that we've put in so far. So maybe it's time to really start optimizing and taking a look at what is possible with other cards and stuff. I just find it all really interesting, like how you can work the system in that way and follow the rules and still, come out what feels like up for us. So I also wanted to say I saw all of you on Reddit talking about the channel, which was really cool. So there was a Reddit thread where somebody was asking about, what are some personal finance channels or budgeting channels that you watch? And like so many people, I was just casually like scrolling Reddit. I'm on Reddit a lot. And I saw so many people recommending our channel, which was a crazy thing. Cause I have found other budget channels that I watch that way as well. So it was really, really cool. So hello everyone. For the long time watchers who popped up in there, what's up? I probably could have named, if I was to think about the people who watched the channel and picked out some names on who I thought I would see on Reddit, I think I would have nailed it because we're all, what's up, Justin and Mindy? I see you guys. I see you out there. So, that was just really cool. And I just want to say thanks for, talking us up and recommending us to other people. This is a channel I started about 3 years ago, I think, maybe just over 3 years now, just as kind of like a way to document the journey of a very long student loan payoff process. And we're making great progress, but it's still a very long student loan payoff process. And so it's cool to have just this community of people who are so supportive and so just, interested in what we're doing, which is still kind of mind-boggling to me. So thanks, friends. I really appreciate you guys. And I think everyone here is really cool and nice, and putting yourself and your finances out on the internet could be really scary, and it isn't, because everyone is so supportive and kind. So I just wanted to take a moment and say really thank you. I appreciate you guys a lot. And I think that's it. I wrote down my topics to discuss this week, because I always say, oh, we'll talk about that on Friday, and then I forget. So this week was a busy one, mostly with work. So work has been very, very busy. I've got a lot of stuff going on at work right now, all good things, all fun projects. I actually got an email yesterday that I was selected to work on a project that I have been like gunning for, because it's going to be so much fun. It's completely out of the realm of what I normally do in work, which I think is fun, and I get to, flex other muscles in my brain that that just make me a whole fully developed entire person in the workspace. I don't just do one thing. I like to be known as somebody who can step in and handle all kinds of stuff. So this project is going to really flex that and really have some high visibility stuff. So I'm really excited about it. And Shea has been a busy bee. She went to a production meeting for a show she's working on this summer. She's really excited about. She had a really wonderful time, and we're just jazzed. We're having a really good time. I'm excited. I have a work conference next week. I'll be flying over to San Diego for a conference, and I'm super jazzed about that. It's a fun conference. It's my third year now in a row going. So if anyone's going to be at Tableau conference, hit me up. And yeah, let's take a look at the budget, shall we? I'm rambling, I feel. All right. So I know Shay's so upset that she's missing this one, because it is a double paycheck week. So if both of us got paid, I promise I have her blessing to budget the money. She said, just do something fun with it, which I don't know what that means. We've got targets, girl. I don't know what you want me to do with this. Tails. He's a needy boy. Yeah. All right, so overspending. I am happy to report that we covered it all. There was some. I wanted to say there wasn't any, but that's not true. After my sister left, we were still waiting for things to settle, and I was going back and forth on if I wanted to like Venmo request her for some things, but she's had a real tough year. She's gone through a lot of life change. She's had to spend a lot of money to get a new apartment. She had to eat a lot of deposits and stuff on her wedding that is no longer happening. And so it's been I wanted to treat her, and we did. And it was not outrageous. I would say it was less than $200 in additional funds that we weren't planning on spending, but we had some money in birthday gifts. We had some money in hosting. We had money set aside for her trip. And so, we spent money, don't get me wrong. We also had some money set aside in tickets. We went and saw that show. So we covered some of it we're also saving for a trip to go see her in California in July. So we covered some of it with that. We just covered it. I decided not to Venmo request her about anything. And she's going to be really mad that I decided that, because she's an employed person. But I just wanted to treat my sister, and that meant a little bit of wiggling some things around. But I'm happy that I did it, and we had so much fun. It was really a blast. So I'm glad she came. I want her to feel comfortable coming and visiting whenever she wants. Drop of a hat, she could show up tomorrow, and we'd be like, "Welcome." We'll pull out the bed. But we covered it all. It was all covered from funds that were already in the budget and stuff that we already had set aside in various ways. So I feel great about that. Shea worked a little bit less, which is why normally this is about, I'd say, $1,800. It's not crazy off what it normally is, but Shea worked a few less hours. Well, it was her birthday, and then my sister came to visit. So I think, and she's not here to stop me, that I'm going to just not pull from paid Shaycation. So paid Shaycation is a savings category that we have where if Shea wants to take paid time off, Shea works for a small business. There's not PTO in the standard sense. She does not have paid vacation. She also works part-time, which is part of that as well. So we just set some money aside for when she wants to take time off. And I think if it becomes necessary at the end of the month, then we can pull from here. But I'm not going to right now, because this is we're fine. It wasn't even that far off. Sure. It wasn't even that far off what her normal paycheck is. So I'm genuinely not that worried about it. We've been really good about our month ahead and all that stuff. So I'm going to leave it for now, and she can watch this video back later and go, Kaylee. That's what she sounds like when she's Kaylee. You'd be mad if we were doing that. So let's skip that part. And we're going to go ahead. We fund rent in the next month because it comes out on the 1st. So $800 towards rent. We live in New York City. Like I said at the beginning of the video, our rent is $22.59.99. Right now, it's going to go up in October. We already know that. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, this is below market rent for our area. So we are actually getting a deal. Doesn't that hurt? Doesn't that hurt to hear? That's crazy. Love it here though. And that's the part that hurts the most, is if I just didn't like living here, I just wouldn't. But I do. All right. Wyatt is my nephew. We save his age in dollars every single week. He turned 10 in March, so we save $10 a week for Wyatt. There's more than that here. It's just in a high yield savings account set aside. And we're saving for whatever this money ends up being for. It could be college. It could be something in high school. It could be trade school. It could just be a nice birthday gift when he's 18. We don't know yet, but we know that we love him and wanted to start saving for him, because the whole point of this entire thing, all this financial independence journey, is to help change the course of our family trees. So that's what we're doing. Okay. And then YNAB has this feature called Focused Views, where you can save something. So we have this thing called Weekly, and these are things that we do every week. Pretty straightforward, I think. Every single week, we buy groceries. We fund $100 for groceries. Shay's actually going to go grocery shopping when she's done having lunch with her friend. I don't think we're going to spend this much. I just don't. But we're going to keep funding it, and then at the end of the month, if we have a bunch left, we'll pull it out and put it towards the student loans. Transportation, we funded at the beginning of the month, which still feels very fun. We're a little bit up on transportation right now because we've been out and about and running around. But I'm going to be at that conference all next week, so this will even out. We'll even out over time. Booze, I think my wife is going to want a bottle of red wine to have a small glass at night while I'm gone, and so we are going to fund that for her. I will also be having booze, but it will be at the conference. They have a big party in the middle of the conference in San Diego, and it's really fun. So that'll be my booze, but that's paid for by the conference. Ordering food, I'm going to take this up to, I'm going to take it up to 30, but that means I have to do math, which is never good. You don't want to do math in public. Oh, I'm a genius. Imagine thinking that doing basic math makes you a genius. That's me. Household consumables, Shea spent some, but we funded that at the beginning of the month as well. Laundry, I used to cover just a touch of overspending, so I'm going to just fill this all the way up, even though we don't really need to. I'm going to do it anyway. All right, those are weekly things. Funded. Sick. Booze, wine at the show. That's the only other booze money we've spent, is Shea got a glass of wine at the show, and theater tickets are expensive, don't get me wrong, but theater booze? Never seen prices like that in my life. I try to avoid it whenever I can. It's literally cheaper to go get a fancy, boozy cocktail in the middle of Manhattan anywhere else than inside a theater. It's actually nuts. If you're planning on going and seeing a Broadway show while you're in New York, I need you to be mentally prepared. Honestly, just go look at the prices just to make yourself laugh. It's crazy. And I've lived in New York for over 5 years now. God, oh my God, over 5 years. So the prices of things don't usually shock me very much. But the prices of alcohol at a theater, just know that. Priorities, done. Bills, funded at the beginning of the month, which is a super fun part. If you've never used YNAB before, also known as You Need a Budget, big fan. There's a free trial link down below. You should, at least check it out. We love it so much. And I think if Shea from 3 years ago could hear me say, we love it so much, she'd look at me like I was crazy, but she genuinely does. Like, it's wild. Big fan. It's like digital envelope budgeting. So it's like the Dave Ramsey envelope method, but entirely digital on your computer. So Becky, who has a channel called The Good Midlife Crisis, talks often about how she's not like a cash budgeting person. And I am very similar in that same way, where cash to me is water. It is nothing. It flows through me. It's not my business. Whereas, these numbers in my budget, those are my dollars. Like that means something to me. So, it's more just about the psychology of how you handle and approach money. And for me, YNAB really hits. And not everyone's going to react to it the same way. And not everyone's going to utilize it the same way. And not everyone's going to love it the same way. And that's fine. But it certainly works for us. And it's great I love it for the way that it handles credit cards specifically. Like I was talking about earlier, that the travel hacking and managing credit cards is YNAB treats your credit card spending like it's your cash spending. So it needs to be covered right now because you will be paying it in full. So that has helped me. I had some credit card debt when I first started with YNAB and now have not ever had it since. I'm ranting again. Okay. Cat fixtures. I use that to cover some overspending as well. So we'll fund that back up. And other than that, the cats are funded. If you're new, there are 3 of them. It's too many. But what am I going to do? I love them. Okay, date night. I don't think we're going to have anything date night before I go, but let's assign another 50 to it just in case. Groceries are funded. Grocery restock is funded. Somebody was asking about the difference between groceries and grocery restock. So our grocery budget is $125 a week. But we put $100 in our weekly grocery spending and $25 into this grocery restock category, which is for things like when you need to buy another full liter of cooking oil, when you need to buy a big pack of something. This is basically just our Costco category. But, it was always a pain in the butt when, we want to go do our weekly spending, but we need to spend $35 on olive oil or whatever. And that means that we only have $65 for the rest of the week. To level it out, we just set it aside separately and do the spending out of this category for basically Costco runs. We buy meat at Costco. We buy cooking oil at Costco. We buy bulk things at Costco, dry goods mostly. So that's what that category is. And it's been working out so good. That's the thing that I love most about budgeting, a crazy sentence that just came out of my mouth, is that when I budget for something and then spend within the confines of what I budgeted, it feels like it was free, which is so stupid. But if I go and I spend $99 at Costco right now, no problem, drop it like nothing, I'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe we went to Costco for free just now, because the budget allows me to spend this guilt-free. I set this aside. It was intentional. I know all my other things are taken care of. That was free. And that's girl math. Haircut is funded. I need to go get a haircut before I go to the conference. Clothing is funded. Notions funded. Transportation. Family entertainment. The Starbucks budget. We bought my sister a Starbucks cup because she likes the little Starbucks tumblers. We transferred our fund money into our separate fund money accounts. So that's all taken care of. Household is almost entirely funded. We got another 50. Am I right? Yes. Household fixtures is for furniture and things. Christmas festivities is for mostly our Christmas tree and any decorations we need to replace. Is what Christmas festivities is, which is different than Christmas gifts. Shea takes Christmas very seriously. Therefore, we take Christmas very seriously. Pretty house. Shea will probably buy some flowers or a candle at Trader Joe's today, and that's what that is for. Laundry. We live in New York City. We don't have laundry in our apartment. We also don't have a dishwasher in our apartment. I think some people are realizing, we post like vlog style week in review videos on Sundays, and I think people are realizing like, wait a minute, you don't have a dishwasher. Yeah, we do. It's just me. I am the dishwasher. I wash the dishes in this house. I would say it's at 80-20. Like I wash like 80% of the dishes and Shea washes like 20% of the dishes. Yeah, no dishwasher, no washing machine, no dryer. We gotta walk down 5 flights of stairs to do laundry. It's fun. Shea career. Shea is an actor, dancer, choreographer, intimacy choreographer in New York City. So she maintains a website. She takes dance class. She does ongoing training and workshops, and she does not get paid time off for that either. So we set aside money for that. Shea career is a relatively new category in the grand scheme of our budget, but I think it's really allowed Shea to not feel guilty about spending on her craft. Like going to dance class is part of her ongoing development as a dancer and staying in shape and staying up on trends, and it's important. So I've been like trying to get her to do more of that. So I think this has been very helpful. Already down to sinking funds, y'all. That's nuts. Oh yeah. Yes, sir. To fund all of our sinking funds, it is $375. Let's do that. Okay, Shea Roth IRA, my Roth IRA. Dental, I've got money in the high yield savings account. We've also got dentist appointments, obviously not this upcoming week because I'll be gone. Not the week after, but the May 1st will be at the dentist. So I'm keeping some money here because I think I need to pay for something. Medical mostly goes in a high yield savings account. Vision, I'm blind. I can't see nothing without these things. Technology is just a really slow, ongoing, one day somebody's going to need a new computer, you know? I just bought myself this new iMac. Here, you can't see it. You're in it. Like one day Shay's going to need a new computer, you know? Like it's not urgent, but it makes me feel better to be saving for it a little at a time if something comes up. Emergency savings normally would go into our emergency fund, but right now we're using this as part of our month ahead fund. So this $100 a month is also flowing into getting a month ahead. I put our, this money is still here. So our YouTube channel is monetized. And so we set aside 25% of that income just in case we have to pay some taxes at the end of the year. And that is in our high yield savings account now because it's going to be sitting until next April, you know? Okay. I've got $211 left to go here. We save $100 a month for Christmas spending. We save $25 a month each for our birthdays, just for going out to dinner or something. Shay just had her birthday at the end of March, so there's nothing in there right now. That takes us up to $186. We've got 2 sets of friends getting married this summer and fall, so we're saving up a little bit at a time for their wedding presents. They're getting married in June. They're getting married in September. So we can fund all those things. Gifts and giving is funded. That makes me excited. Credit card payments. Don't need to fund that. Tickets. We went and saw Death Becomes Her when my sister was here. It was awesome. I've got $25. We'll just throw 25 in here. Chip away at it. And then I'll throw 27 cents in the Wish Farm, which we're saving up for some Roman shades, a new air filter system, and a TV stand right now. We're at $9, so it's slow going. Okay. What is underfunded here? What do we got? So Wyatt, we fund every week. We could fund in advance, but I find that I like funding it every week. So if we fund it in advance, then I just overfund it, and that's like not the point. So all right. So basically, date night, we like to fully fund, even if we're not going to spend it all. Groceries, we fund it, but again, at the end of the month, if we haven't used it all, we just roll it into student loan payment. Vitamins, I don't know if we have to buy anything for vitamins this month anymore. I don't know. I'll fund it next week. Booze, if we don't spend all this, that's actually probably good. These are not categories that I want to fill up all the way. We fund them weekly on purpose because we upped the targets at the beginning of the year to reflect the reality of last year, but our goal is to lower them next year because we're not spending all of it. And so far, that's been going pretty good. But I want the targets to be based in reality, you know? So, like, I'm not fooled by my underfunded being lower than it actually should be. And then our whole travel category needs funding still. So we'll probably fund that. Maybe not entirely next week. I adjusted these targets to also reflect reality of like how much we actually need. We also added a small anniversary weekend trip, not very far, like rent a car, drive for an hour and hang out for our wedding anniversary in June. Literally like 2 nights away, like not a crazy in-depth trip. We're going to visit my sister, like I said, in July, and we're going to that wedding in September. So I wanted the category to reflect how much we would actually need to fund. That doesn't necessarily mean we're going to be able to fully fund every single thing every month. And we may need to adjust our budget expectations, but I'm feeling good about it. So that's where we're at. That's how the budget's looking. It's feeling good. We're underfunded $1,400. It's April 11th, so we'll be all right by far. I've got 2 more paychecks. Shea has 1 more paycheck. We're golden. This is the student loan budget. You can have one mega budget where you have all of your stuff all in one place. I could easily have all of these student loans on my daily spending budget. I don't prefer that because then I get weird and obsessive about it. You know, I like the extra step that it takes to flip over and look at. Like, it has to be intentional. And because I get weird about it, and then I start thinking about it, and my shoulders get real tense, you know? So, every single week, my company takes, I told them to, my paycheck splits into 2 different accounts. So, I've got my daily spender, which you just saw. $300 goes into my student loan savings account. So, we are working right now on student loan 10. I went to graduate school. I went to a private graduate school. I don't recommend it, but I don't regret it either, if that makes any sense. I would probably do things differently if I had the knowledge I have now, but I didn't at the time. So, what's happening at the moment with student loans, if you're not familiar, is that there is some kind of legal hullabaloo happening with the SAVE plan. Savings for a Valuable Education, I think is what SAVE is what that plan is. Different than whatever other SAVE thing is happening with registering to vote or something. I don't actually understand the law about what's going on at all. But the SAVE plan is a student loan repayment plan where there was there was an interest subsidy that was happening. So if your minimum payment was less than what your interest payment is, your interest would be subsidized up until the rest of it, basically. So the loans weren't continuously just growing in the background if your income wasn't enough to keep up with those payments. Now, my income is enough to keep up with the minimum payments, but I was on the plan because it hasn't always been that way. So I was on this plan. It's going through some legal challenge in the court system. I don't quite understand what's going on with it. I try to keep up with it. It confuses me. I don't really know what's happening. But I do know that currently, if you're on the SAVE plan, there is no interest accrual. There's no payment due. So instead of giving them all my money, we have all of this money that's been just every single week, $300 from my paycheck goes into this account. And every single week, I move it into a high yield savings account while we wait. So we're just waiting. We're still funding the student loans like we are aggressively doing debt payoff, because in my mind we are, because this money lives only to go onto the student loans. So this is sitting in a high yield savings account, earning interest. Every single week we funnel it over. And we are now $13,500 closer to paying off this big honking guy here. This is the highest interest rate. It's got a 6.31% interest rate because it is a grad school student loan. So the goal is, while it's not earning any interest at all, to pay down this one as much as possible. I mean, in a beautiful world, we'd get started on another one of these. Which one's got the next one? We got 6%, I think is, dang it, this one's also 6.3. So this guy. So the next one. So we'll finish this. So we'll finish 10. We'll move on to 12. And we'll just keep it pushing. We're doing what's called the debt avalanche method, where you do debt payoff based on interest rate for now. That's what I'm doing for now. We reserve the right to get annoyed and pay off some smaller loans. You know, I've had people ask before why we don't just pay off all these little guy loans, because their interest rate is so much lower. And the way it maths out is that if I focus on these and pay these off first, then I'm saving, I'm not kidding, like $50,000 of interest in the life of this journey, which is crazy. But also, I mean, if you think about it, these have to get paid off either way, right? I'm going to be paying, this is like 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, this is $100,000 worth of the loans of the total $128,000 balance, which is, but if I pay all these, I could pay all these little loans off probably by the end of this year, because the goal is to pay off $30,000 this year, right? We pay off all these little loans, and now all we have is this big chunk to look forward to. There's no chunking these out into smaller bits. So while I'm sitting here and very motivated and excited to pay them off and really, ready to grind it out, I'm fine with the long game. But at some point, and some of you saw this earlier in the year, at some point, it gets like, if it gets to me and I get really in my head about it and it feels like it's going to go on forever, then I can just pivot, pay off one of these, and give my brain that psychological win that it needs, and then keep going. Because these, they're huge. They're large. It's a lot of work to pay these ones off. It hurts. It's, they're not insignificant. So working on these while I have the motivation to work on them, basically, is the focus right now. And if I need to pivot and knock one of these small ones off, then I will do that and give my brain that satisfaction of a job well done. But in the meantime, I like to do this sometimes too. Watch. That's good. That's good. So that is our budget this week. I hope you all had a wonderful week. I hope your Friday morning has been amazing. Like I said, I'm going to be out of town all next week. We're going to try to record a Tuesday video this weekend and get it up. So if you have any requests for a Tuesday video, drop those down below. I know a bunch of you have had little requests here and there. I try to write them down. I don't always remember, I'm going to be real. Managing YouTube and my full-time job and trying to be a present wife it's a bit of a juggling act. Sometimes I'm better at it than others. So if you've got any requests for a Tuesday video that we could knock out this weekend, let me know. I'm always happy to answer questions. We're always happy to dig into different, things we got going on. I know that everybody YNABs differently. And so it's kind of fun to see how people do things differently. So if you've got anything you want us to dig into or explain, we're happy to do that. And we will have that for you on Tuesday. So I hope you all have a wonderful week. I hope that I see you again. Thanks for being here. And on Sunday, we'll have a week in review vlog style video about our health and financial journey. Tuesdays, we post kind of a random whatever's kicking around in my brain kind of video. And every single Friday, one of us is going to be sitting down doing a budget. Usually both, but somebody's going to be budgeting on Friday morning. So happy to see you all. Thanks so much again for being just so damn nice. I appreciate you. Have a great week. I'll see you when I see you.